Hi there, welcome to the Bradbury Young channel. Recently I made this jacket, which is the Kwik Sew 4029. And I made, well, it's view A with the cuff, but I didn't put any contrasting material on this, as it sort of describes that you can do. You can put a contrasting trim on this piece that goes all the way around and forms the front closure and the cuff, but I did it in the same material because it's what I had. Now when I made this top, this jacket, it came together quite quickly and quite well, with the exception of the sleeves, which actually turned out to be a bit of a nightmare. The instructions gave details of putting the lining in, because it's fully lining, self-material, self-lined, of how to construct that and put that in, but the way it told me to do it just was completely illogical and didn't seem to work. So I've decided I'm going to test out how I think it should be done against the way that it tells me to do it. So I've cut out some material, some basic stuff that I can make a sort of jacket or something, and a lining. It's only small, it's going to be on this miniature scale, but it's basically just to test the theory. So let's have a look at what I've got and what I'm going to do. So I've got some material cut out. It's basic. I've used some sacrificial shirts, some polycotton shirts to do this. And basically, if I just go through what I've got what's going to make the back. Everything's just straight out triangles or whatever. I'm not doing anything fancy. This is just for testing purposes. So that's the backs. That's going to be the fronts with a bit of curvature on it, because that's going to be on my neckline. Not worrying about armholes or anything. And this material is going to make the sleeves. That's going to be the outer, and that's going to be the lining, just so I know which one will be the lining. And obviously, like with the rest of them, I've made double the amount that I need, so I can have the actual outer and lining to do this. So what I'll do is I'll get these put together, and then I can start looking at how the sleeves are going to go together. Well, I've got a couple of pieces made up now. This is effectively the jacket. It's a little thing, not making anything full scale, just on a small scale. Now it is rather rough and ready, and nothing like what you'd expect from a proper jacket. It is just for this experiment, so I can actually try out what I'm thinking, and to also show how I think that the instructions are not right, basically. So yeah, this is the main jacket. This would be the outer piece, and this will be the lining piece. As you can see, just a couple of arms, two front bits in the back. Now what I've got to do is I've got to put this and this together. But the way I've got to do it is that what is the outside, the right sides are facing each other. So the best way to do that is this is inside out, this is the lining, and this is the outer piece, the right way through. But I'm effectively going to take this and put it in and sort of match it all up. So then I've got the right sides facing each other, and then I've got to sort of stitch it up in a particular way. Well, I've got the lining and the outer together, right sides together. That's the good side, as it were, and that's the lining side. And then it says in the instructions from that particular pattern, the Kwik Sew 4029, that I should match the seams up for the cuff, for the sleeve, and pin in and then stitch. But when I did this originally, when I originally made the jacket, I knew that this was wrong, but I'm going to stitch it up anyway, turn it through so we can see what it is actually doing. Got a hole somewhere, there's me pull through hole, so let's stitch these sleeve ends up and see what the actual result is. as you can see, by following the instructions, what you end up with is that the outside. That should be in there, not outside, but it's joined at the cuff. So you end up these two loops, which is not what you're meant to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this back through its inside out again, and I'm going to undo this, and I'm going to look at doing it a different way. So I've turned it back through again. This is now inside out again, and what I've done is I've pulled the sleeves all the way through, back out from each other, and what I've done is I've pinned them together at the cuff. But effectively, to do that, what I've done is to take what is the lining piece and then turn the end through like that, so it's turned over, and then I've taken this bit, and this is the outer, if I can get hold of it, and I'm going to put this inside here like that, up to the point where I've turned it up, and then I've carefully pinned it in place, and now I've got to stitch along this edge carefully without, I don't want to just stitch straight through. I've got to carefully stitch round this edge where I've turned it to create the actual seam line. So I better get on with that on both of these, and then I'll be able to pull it through and see how that comes out. And so here we are, having pulled it all the way through. As you can see, I've got two sleeves that are correct with the lining in there correctly, and the end is nice and neat. It's requiring an iron, but I'm not going to iron it because it's just a test mock-up piece, as it were, to see if that way of doing it is correct. Now, I did see it a couple of times being explained that way on YouTube in a couple of other videos. I did do a bit of a search, and that's the way that looked to be the best. So I thought I'd give it a go and see if it actually works, and it does. It works quite well, really. I know this looks a bit rough, but then, and it's rather small, but then it is really just a test mock-up to confirm that that is a good way of doing the sleeves. And pretty much the only way, if you want to be able to turn it all the way through and have it come out like that. Of course, you can just stitch around the edges, pull it through, and then push the sleeve linings in, and then stitch it up afterwards, which is how I done it before. I can't speak today, I'm having trouble. Never mind. But yeah, so that's worked out. That technique is a usable technique. I do like that because it ends up with a fully lined, and all the raw seams and that are tucked away on the inside, not to be seen again, hopefully. Well, with the exception of where the hole is, but then just stitch that up, on the in lining. Yeah. So there we have it. A technique for getting your lining, and especially the sleeve lining part, in the correct way. There we go, there's the lining, there's the sleeve, there's the cuff, all correct as it should be. And I'm quite surprised that it did actually come out quite so well, that it actually worked. I was a bit sceptical because obviously from the instructions for this jacket, I was wondering what on earth I was meant to do to make this actually work. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with understanding that. So next time I come to make this jacket, which I do intend to make it again, because this one's got no pockets on it, so that'll be another thing I need to learn, how to put pockets in these, whether it be a seam pocket or whether it be one of those ones that, little open top ones. I don't know what they're called, but the little slot, and you can put stuff into them, maybe on the inside, because if I use a lining that was very similar to the outer, then it'd be able to have an inside pocket as well. Don't know yet. So yeah, I will be making this again, but using the technique for the sleeves that I did for this mock-up test piece. And that hopefully will give me just as nice a sleeve I've got here, but without, see on here I've got some edging where I had to like overlock, you know, that raw edge to tidy it up. And I won't get that if I use this technique. So yeah, I'm really glad I gave it a go and learnt how to make that happen. So if you like this video, please do give it a like, click that button and subscribe so you can see more of my videos. You'll get notification of when they're coming out. You can leave a comment, which I love reading your comments. It's really quite nice to see what you think of what I'm doing and what you're doing as well, if it's something that's similar to what I've been doing. So it's just for me to say now, thank you very much for watching my video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye! Yeah.